Welcome to the GG.Bet Ice Challenge, the 50K here in London. My name is Trey Saranthus. I have Henry Greer. You might know him as Henry G, and the G stands for what exactly?
It stands for Greer. We're going to leave it at that. I know we're trying to bait me in towards here.
It's not really like a bait. It's not like just a general question. I'm going to keep this a nice,
friendly show here, Trace. I'm enjoying myself so far. We've got a great matchup going on in the Octagon of all places of CSGO right now. The first time I've ever been involved in this sort of environment. It's up close. It's personal as well. Like you mentioned, 50K on the line. And right now, one of these teams trying to book themselves a place in the grand final.
Yes, that's absolutely right, Mr. Greer. We have seen 2 maps played thus far, both Mirage and a little bit of Nuke, but now you need to go ahead and get out your conductor hats because we're going over to train, and nobody wants to be the caboose in this equation out of these 2 teams.
Absolutely. A bit of an unknown quantity here. We're not sure how much preparation Heroic have been able to do on a map like Train. We know they've been together maybe around 10 days. It's maybe a little bit longer than that, but their boot camp was a week long. They've been trying to mix things up, going for in-game leaders and working out how they want to set themselves up. Ascilian's done a great job of getting this team ready on the CT side, but sometimes that T side is a little bit loose, I would say. They don't seem to have all the executions down. They're playing off themselves, but finally North are looking like them old selves. We're seeing big numbers from AZ.
Yeah.
We've been waiting to say that for quite a while now. That inconsistency has been a big talking point, but today he is looking sharp. We're seeing Kiabi perform as well, and it looks like North, after a successful new campaign, will, I would say, close things out on Train. I assume they're going to be more prepared than Heroic. That's my gut feeling, at least.
Yeah, and Ascilian trying to get a big bite of that apple as well as a bite of this prize purse. Again, 50,000 big ones on the line here, 30,000 for first place. And it does look like we're going to be kicking things off here on Train, the deciding map of this best-of-3 series between North and Heroic. Now, both of these teams looking to solidify the start here by getting a good knife round underway. If you've never watched Counter-Strike before, if you have absolutely no idea why these guys are just running around, Henry, why is that?
Well, at this point, it's like the coin toss you'd have maybe in a football game to decide who goes on what side. This is a knife round. It doesn't take much skill. It is a bit of a 50-50. But if you can win it, you get to decide whether you start on the attack or defense first. On a map like Train, just to note, that was almost getting a little bit excited. On a map like Train, you want to start on the CT side. So winning that knife round is actually pretty important. It's getting you a slight tactical advantage. You're starting on the easier side, but still, that can go horribly wrong. If you lose the pistol like we saw on Nuke, it can actually fall apart very quickly. If you go down 0-6 on your CT side, it can still be very difficult to recover, as we'll see. I think North starting on the CT side now, so they'll be very happy with that. Another advantage for them going to this third and final map. They set it off very slowly indeed, but the second map was actually quite remarkable. We can see the odds there provided by GG.Bet. They've also got North as a favorite here at this point, 1.76, and we'll see if Heroic can bounce back from their odds of 2.02. So, the underdogs there, but for me, I feel like the firepower and the preparation should be in favor of North, and I have been impressed with Heroic as an overall package. They seem like they've got great potential, I would say. They're not ready to take on the world just yet, but you can see some of the rounds they have and the talent they have within this team. It's going to be a strong team going forward.
Well, they've kind of had to get a slower start in today's game. Obviously, this whole matchup as a whole, being a best-of-3, they are given that little bit of a cushion. Again, the second map could have very well went to Heroic. However, it didn't quite break down that way. It was their map pick. So we're seeing opposing map picks being won here.
Yep.
And really that kind of sets up the scenario as to what might happen here on Train. We could talk about slow starts. We could talk about what it all comes down to. But the reality is at the end of the day, it was between this and Dust 2.
Absolutely. I feel like that's where North wanted to avoid it, because at that point, we'll see, it's actually, it's Heroic that removed Dust 2 on that veto, just a note. We're just getting that intel in now. So North removed Inferno, which is a bit of a staple for them, generally speaking, but we haven't seen great results recently, and Heroic would rather play Train. So that actually bodes quite well. I'd assume a team like that, who haven't had much prep, would prefer to play a map like Dust 2, but maybe they feel North are too strong in it, and they can catch them off guard on Train. We'll see whether that will be true, but starting on the CD side, I still do favor North. I agree with the odds provided by GG.Bet, and we'll see if that comes true. I believe we have a quick technical issue. It's normally just a small sound thing that can be resolved relatively quickly.
Yeah, and one question mark we've had at least around North here that perhaps was something that was looked at by Heroic going further into the series and even into the veto was the AWP ability of North. Of course, we've talked about KDN being both the IGL and the AWP player. And if you start to look at it and dissect it and examine it from a much closer perspective, the AWP could be very influential across these maps that it came down to in the very end of the veto. You've got Inferno, Dust 2, and now we look at Train. I mean, should they be able to come online with the ops here on North, I mean, this could be a much, much easier affair for them.
We'll have to see. I have been impressed with the AWB potential of Heroic. We've seen even S-Tag pick it up and actually look quite deadly. And yes, double orb situation on the north side. You have to ask yourself, where does that really go? We know AZ can pick it up from time to time, but he doesn't really seem to deliver a huge amount of frags of it. Maybe good for one kill in the round with the AWP, then falling back. But that's fine in a map like Train. You certainly want to be aiming towards a double orb setup eventually. If you can get that within your wheelhouse, that is going to be an advantage going forward as they just get ready. There's AZ on the end there, looking ready to post more numbers. He actually got like 29, I think, in that second map. Looked very strong indeed. And ladies and gentlemen, the pistol round here of the third and final map in this Scandinavian clash here in London. We'll see who comes out on top and book themselves a place in the grand final. Just to note, the loser does not go home. They go down to the lower bracket and they'll play the winner of either Na'Vi or AVANGAR. The game coming up next.
That's right, the Nordic knockdown here on Train. GG.Bet Ice Challenge, 50,000 big ones on the line, and Train will be the decider for this semi-final. And as things are starting to unfold, Cadian does elect to go with the smoke and the kit, which leaves the rest of his teammates to buy armor. And Heroic maybe want to do this with a quickness, trying to find some way out there on that inner site. They do put a little bit of damage down on Cadian, so off to a good start. Even though they don't find the kill, they do start to traverse back towards the ladder room, and that little bit of utility they use right now should begin to open up the site if they hit some shots, and Cadian does find one. So definitely helping out the war effort here. Asilian and S-Tag will have something to say about that. It's now a 4-on-3. Gade Valde will be the only two members of North remaining to defend this outside bomb site. The bomb should be planted momentarily. And wow, Gade finding a quickness shot there onto Mert. 2 versus 2, and what was surely going in the way of Heroic. Now it's breaking down the mid. S-Tag looking for the frag. Can't find it. Gade, though, does indeed find success. Asilian left in a 1 versus 2, and he gets eaten alive. Hope he got the receipt for that lunchbox.
Yeah, that was a weird one there because Heroic actually went for the inside play there. They missed their smoke from connector. You can throw that actually from T-spawn. It lands all the way inside the connector there. You can see it. They threw it. They wanted to go towards inside and take vision away from those rotating players. They realized it had been misthrown, and at that stage it all went wrong. They went back towards outside, and to be fair, it was well recovered. The fact they even got the bomb down was pretty fantastic here, but really great shots from Gade. We'll see whether he can actually continue that form here on Train. Really enjoyed his contribution so far as we get ourselves into round number 2. We're going to have the AKs coming out nice and early here as we'll see Freiburg and co. With 3 of those and some deagles. It takes a bit of juggling with the guns to get these weapons available, but S-Tag isn't wasting any time whatsoever. Great headshots there with the AK, and he finds him a huge advantage here in round number 2.
Yeah, those were big kills there for S-Tag to go ahead and push out on the site, find that aggression, and more importantly, find success or big kills in perhaps what will be a Heroic round. Now, you do note that they did lose that first round, but that bomb plan did give them the advantage and did give them the money needed to go ahead and buy up in this round. And now Cadian and KRB are going to have to do something weird here and make that just Cadian.
Well, it was a scary call to make, but if you get that bomb plant and you find a few kills, you can then, the players who found maybe 2 kills or 3 kills, can actually drop an AK for the players that didn't. They buy armor, and then you kind of attack outside. That's what S-Tag went for there. He had a decent spawn, and is through caution to the wind. He manages to get multiple frags there, and a lot of kills done, a lot of damage, and now Cadian can't really do much at all with this. He'll be rotating around towards the main entrance. With the bomb not being planted yet, he might have a sliver of opportunity to get a kill, maybe steal away an AK, but ultimately going to be looking for exits here as he now makes his way towards the main entrance. We'll see what can be done. Blame F, great shot there, and it's Heroic bouncing straight back there after a difficult execution on the pistol. Like we said, a missed smoke. It does get things a little bit confusing. You have to think on your feet very quickly, but that nice call in the second round enables them to get right back in this game. 1-1. We're expecting a force buy from Cadian and co. in this round. We'll see whether they want to do that. It's a map where not necessarily force buying is going to be the best option, right? Because if you don't win this round, you're setting yourself up for failure. You might just want to take a couple of ecos on the chin and see what can be done. But they've gone for it, but a bit of a twist here. They've got 5 HE grenades. They're going to throw those towards main entrance right now, Trace, and see if they get the first kill.
One. Yes, they do. KRB does get the landing shot, as Kobe would say. And it's going to be Blame F here at the lesser end of that equation. But as this round starts to unfold, Heroic don't want to find themselves too pushed up. They don't want to find themselves in any choke points where they can really be taken advantage of for these close-range pistols. Gade, though, definitely going to almost find one. He should have had it. Didn't necessarily happen, and Freiburg's going to be on the cleanup duty. Now left up to Valde and AZ, who, well, Valde having the CZ, trying to get something going here. A good nade, no success, though. Wasn't a touchdown pass.
It was a nice shot, but this is obviously an advantage now for Heroic. But North still in the conversation. a play needs to be made. I think Valda is going for it now. He's heading towards T-spawn. He knows he hasn't got the advantage in terms of the weaponry. He needs to go for the backlines. He needs to go for the flank here. Without the bomb planted, he definitely can justify this push towards T-spawn. AZ low HP pretty much out of the equation. He needs Valda to step up, and right now, holding towards the dumpster, like we said, bomb not planted. He might be hoping for a mistake to be made. Maybe they hope they can go back towards inside. Friberg checks it.
Wow.
Now, this is the perfect opportunity now. Valda won't be aware, but this is setting up really, really nicely for him.
But you can tell the timidness here by Heroic. You can tell they don't want to just fully commit, and right now Valde is in a perfect position to really get that information and the kills in that situation. Valde reigns supreme and cleans the round up for North, putting a second one on the board and a big one at that.
It all comes down to the timing there. Freiburg, as far as he's concerned, he checked that flank right. He looked back towards T-spawn, but it comes down to the absolute milliseconds there. He checks a couple of seconds after. He gets the information. He gets the kill. It's clean. But Valda somehow timed it to perfection, gets that flank going, and it was only him that could win the round. AZ stuck towards that connector, could do nothing about it, and it's going to be 2-1 and a force buy. Once again from Heroic, it's a tug of war right now, a war of attrition, as we'll see the AKs come through. 3 Desert Eagles as well. This looks likely to be maybe an inside execution with a backstab from the Ivy position. I think that's Freiburg, and we'll see if that rings true. So Freiburg maybe either shows presence here and suggests he can keep players outside, or he goes for a full backstab through CD spawn once his teammates commit. Would
not be surprised to see Freiburg use all 3 of his grenades here on Ivy and perhaps an explosion out on this inner bomb site by Heroic. But as it's starting to unfold, it does seem as though they're going to show face here and maybe get punished for it. The spam coming out from Valde. Can't seem to find one, and he doesn't, in fact. He's just going to go ahead and get eradicated right from the situation. Cadian going to reply. Still have an even game here. Freiburg going to elect to fall all the way back. The bomb does get planted, and that Molotov's in a very prime position. So far, this round is unfolding quite advantageously there to Heroic. But that's a big kill there for KD. He takes down S-Tag. Blame is not out of the round yet. He has 2 kills to his name in this round. Trying to stay alive. AZ gets the better of him. And now it's up to Freiburg. And it's going to be going down to Freiburg as well.
Freiburg did what he could there. Desert Eagle, no utility, and they get the bomb planted. It's a relatively successful round. Blame him for a couple of kills. They got the AK in his hand. Certainly could have been a bit better for them. Come down to the 1v1, giving Freiburg a chance perhaps, but well held there, especially from the utility usage there from North. The fact they dropped the incendiaries on the bomb train, as soon as a bomb's planted, it flushes players out, and they can get the advantages there, and they always were going to win that round, I think. Once a bomb was planted, they knew the positions. They felt like it was a very comfortable situation. Freiburg really had to hit a couple of 1-digs there, which is very difficult when you don't have the information as to exactly where the CTs are. 3-1 though, North. They'll take the lead here, and it's another force buy. Heroic really trying to send this one home. They've got rifles again. This time one of them is a Galil, and they're going to go quickly towards outside and see if they can use that great aim. But Gade, he demonstrates it first. That AUG has been such a talking point in CSGO recently as he sprays 2 of them down. Huge advantage now, and the AWP set up inside means they can actually keep 4 rifles on the outside bomb site. Cadian, perfect position to get a kill, but still can just fall back and allow them to have Brown Horse.
And in this moment, you have to look at North, and you have to say for all the trials that they've been putting themselves through in these past couple maps, where it doesn't seem as though they've asserted themselves over the map. That's starting to come to life here. You can see that they're finding that sort of confidence to put themselves into positions where, hey, we might not win this fight, but I'm really starting to feel myself, and I might come out on top. So I'm willing to take that risk, and I'm willing to try to put that pain down range. And in this situation, they've certainly done that, leaving both S-Tag and Blame F alive over on Heroic. And the bomb in the hands of S-Tag. They're going to have to do something really weird here. Looks like a smoke there towards the ladder room. And 5 alive is not going to make this any easier. A little bit of damage done there on the side of Gade and Cadian. Any kill here could start to change this round. That Molotov's going to slow this entire hit down as we hit that 30-second mark on the timer. AZ in the sight. And he's not alone. He's got some friends with him. S-Tag finding yet another kill from the top of that train. It looks to be about the 3rd or 4th of this game, but it's not going to be enough. KRB and Cadian with their mops out, mopping them up, and putting that round in the bag for North. And this one is starting to gain momentum.
Well, that's going to be the end of the force buys, I'm afraid. They were getting the bomb down, they were getting plants as well, and trying to bring out multiple rifles each time. But at this point of the game, they're going to have to take the full eco and just wait and be patient here as we get into what should be an absolute gimme round for North at this point. Remember, we said this is a very CT-sided affair, and North have won that battle of the force buys here. They've got plenty of cash now, and they're going to be guaranteed this round. I don't see a world where Heroic even get close to the bomb side at this point. They've got no armor, no nades, and now no merts, as he's dropped at the very beginning of the round.
No merts, but definitely feeling all the hurts, because in this motion, they don't want to give up kills that easily, especially given the financial situation they find themselves in. Yes, they are saving this round. Yes, this is their eco round, but if they can do anything right now to sort of get this round going in their way, it will go a really, really long way. They try to go for a more defaulty setup. Didn't necessarily happen right off the bat. Of course, with Mertz falling early on in the round, doesn't make anything easier. KRB going to find Freiburg there in Ivy. He's going to have some backup, but not sure that he's aware. He can't suspect that he's by himself. A big catch there from Massilian as he gets the grenade, and then followed up by a kill from Gade.
As you can see, the odds on your screens right now provided by GG.Bet. North are the heavy favorites with their strong start here on the third map. They got a 1.3 against Heroic's 3.36. So Estag and BlameF right now trying to just find any kills they possibly can. What's available to them? I would say absolutely nothing. You need some sort of utility to get your way out of this tight choke point we call Ivy. And it's the first kill for Kiabi. Looking to keep things clean here. This is nice discipline. He doesn't overcommit. He knows the power of BlameF's aim, and the 1Ds could come through, but he weathers the storm and manages to stay alive there on 7 HP. A clean sweep for North. As I mentioned, a gimme round, meaning that they essentially win it for free. There's nothing that's going to really be challenging them with no grenades and no real weaponry to be presented. And it's going to be now a strong, healthy lead. And remember, Heroic, yes, they've looked great this tournament. We have not yet seen them on train. North will be more established on this map and be, I would say, more comfortable to play it. But it was interesting for me that Heroic vetoed Dust 2 over this. But still very early days, and we'll see what they can do now. They're fully equipped with rifles. It's taken them a long time to get here with those force buys, but still, it's never too late to bounce back.
Oh, with how Heroic do vetoes, I'm sure it could be a very interesting turn of events as to how this all kind of happened the way it did. BlameF going to get pop flashed, and Valde's going to capitalize there. Works out ever so perfectly for the side of North, 5-1, and that's a very detrimental start to the whole war effort there. Op in the hands of Cadian. He's going to be finding himself over there towards that outside side of the lane, looking probably down there towards middle.
So that's the kind of plays we want to see from North, right? We want to see them getting up close and personal. We want to see them being confident to find those frags. They need these sort of start to see the best out of them, but if they do get them, we know they're capable of making big plays like that and surprising their opposition. We haven't seen much of it this tournament, but this is much better, especially from this young man. He seems to be hitting absolutely everything right now. It does come back to the 3-on-3, but Cadian looking more confident in the AWP as well. He watches towards main entrance, and as you can notice, the bomb's all the way in T-spawn right now. They can't really justify a full commitment, but saying that, two players make their way out of the Ivy yet.
Yeah, they're making their way out of Ivy. They're going to be met with Valde. He's on the other side of the smoke, and another smoke comes down to cover him. He does find Freiburg through it. Definitely going to be the thorn in the side there. Asilian, though, unscathed, does find one frag on the Cadian. So now it's a 2v2. 30 seconds left on the clock. Bomb in the hands of Mertz, who is currently half health. And it does look like Asilian can find some damage, and then eventually the kill on Valde. So this one really has turned around in the favor of Heroic. They do have to get this bomb down, though. 20 seconds left on the clock. Gade has the kit and a Molotov, finds the kill pretty easily on Asilian. And now Mertz with the bomb and a dream. And the win. He does find the frag, does find the round, and that was a close call there. Heroic ultimately coming out on top, 5-2 your scoreline here in London.
That was the interview before the game, right? Mertz versus Gade. Those were the guys that were former teammates trying to show who will be coming out on top here. That's a big clutch in terms of the mind games as well, and Heroic needed that round. If they lost that, I'm not sure they'd have picked up many more. But finally, a bit of good news there. A 1v1 comes in their favor, but still a lot of work to be done here. Remember, this is for a berth in the grand final. This is the final map of this series, and we'll see Heroic still struggling. Freiburg's just got the deagle here, and it's an inside assault once again from North. It's worked out so well before, and Estag, he's been very aggressive outside. This time going to be slowed down by the incendiary at the start of the round. Still have 3 CTs ready to push inside, and will they go any further?
Yeah, these 3 CTs include Cadian, who does have the AWP there on the lower ramp. They were looking for some immediate resistance there in their push, and well, now that they haven't gotten it, they've elected to fall off. And that op's going to be transferring to outside. Heroic trying to put it all back together here. As they haven't really took any casualties in this round, just a little bit of damage there on Estag and Mertz. And now it's going to be a full-on dedicate to this inside hit. Valde will be that line of defense. He's going to go spot it now on the other side of Thomas. Tries to get the nade down on the plant position. Cadian going to go ahead and get this round started off proper for North. And they're going to get cleaned up. My goodness, Freiburg, the only one left alive. And there's actually nothing that he could do in that situation. They have been melted alive there throughout that round. And you could see the smiles there on Caribbee's face. Hell, even AZ smiled a little bit.
Their temperament is completely changing now. This is the third and final map. They know they have a huge advantage here. It's going to be crushing the morale of Heroic on the other side. I'm expecting them as they get closer and closer to victory that they're going to be actually standing up and maybe having some fun with the opposition. That's where they get a really comfortable lead and some big clutches in their favor. This will be another round that's 100% going to be going towards the CTs. That's North. As you can see, not a single dollar invested in round number 9. Inside push, and Valde might be in a spot of trouble here. He probably gets a couple of kills, but if he trade it out, there's a couple, and the kill does come through.
Yeah, you can only get 2 out of that, and it might be good enough. Obviously, the weaponry in this round not really favored on the side of Heroic. And right now, Gade could be caught off guard, but a Glock is not going to help his case, and it actually works out, though. Unfortunately, he is traded out. It's going to be S-Tag and Blame to try to get this bomb planted. And, well, what was a full commit to that inside site? They've had to backtrack a little bit, try to reconvene and re-strategize as to how they want to hit the site now. Not very often you can get away with a Glock kill in these rounds, but it has been done. I have just seen it.
Well, it's all down to S-Tag here. We know his aim, this tournament especially, has been phenomenal. They've got plenty of time to work with here, and a little incendiary as well. If they can just get 1 kill here, Trace, bring it to the 2-on-2, not only is that a rifle for Blame F, but they're going to make the CTs very uncomfortable indeed. So, can't really waste too much time here. They are going to walk towards Ivy, but every second that goes down, you can see AZ in a great position to actually shut this down, but he doesn't have the intel. They're both coming there until now. Yeah,
the thing here is they push Ivy. They don't know that AZ doesn't have head armor. Doesn't really matter, though, as he gets just the 2 kills he needs to go ahead and mop that round up for North. And another one on the board there for the Danes as they look to try to run away with this first half on this last map. If you're just joining us here at the GG.Bet Ice Challenge. Live from, I guess it's the Ice Expo would be the way to call it.
The Ice Expo, yes, in beautiful London, England. You enjoying a time here, Trace?
I am, indeed.
Great time of year to come.
Yeah, and you know, I prefer the rain and the sort of dreary experience. It's really nice.
It's perfect, really, as Cadian. He's looking to make these aggressive plays. I said he's not a player that's known for these sort of plays, but now, as he's got a bit of a lead here, he feels like his confidence is swelling. He can actually justify an aggressive pick like this. Just to note, that was a full eco from Heroic before. They're going to have to take another pretty much eco here with just pistols. A little bit more to play with than just Glocks. They have upgraded CZs and Deagles as well. 3 smokes, I assume an outside execution here, meaning you've got to drop your utility, which is 3 smoke grenades to create a wall, a veil, if you like, on the bomb side to take vision away from the CTs and hopefully get a bomb down. Now, that's a lot of ifs and maybes there, but that's the objective at least.
So I guess I'll ask you this, Henry, straight away. If we're looking at Train, right, we see 7-2 Heroic. It looks pretty lopsided.
Sure.
But for what it's worth, for Heroic to find a successful half, what would you say the mark would be in terms of rounds 1?
In terms of success, like 5's enough. Like that's enough for you to feel like this is our pick. We know we can present a strong CT side. I would say that's enough. If you get 6 or 7, that's ideal. Obviously, you're always going to get as many as you possibly can. But I would say for this conversation, let's say they're aiming for 5 at this point, considering their current situation. 5 would be at least workable. We'll see if that's possible. I don't think this round will be going in their favor.
Yeah, it's very likely not to go that way. A missed Molotov could have put a ton of damage down there, sort of like Freiburg onto AZ Stone Piece. And now Gade is going to be trying to find that kill. He does just that on Freiburg. So what did look like it was going to go in the way of Heroic early on has went the way it was supposed to. But S-Tag, midair, just taking Gade out of the entire fight. And now a 2v3, 2v2. Stand corrected. Valde going to stay in line here. And Cadian's going to end the round out entirely. So not a whole lot to be expected there from the side of Heroic, as they didn't necessarily have that buy. But I was expecting at least maybe a pop flash to the smoke, maybe get something going there. They have to know that guy's playing Ivy.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, around the octagon, I see a lot of you taking interest and wondering what the hell's going on here. This is what's called esports. This is Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
Yes,
we have
indeed.
2 world-class teams in this octagon right now competing for a prize pool of $50,000. It's provided by GG.Bet. They're an esports bookmaker, and this is all about showing that CSGO is treated like a proper traditional sport in the sense you can bet on the live games and see what's going on. We provide odds, and this is an invite tournament of 4 teams around the world. We have the second best team in attendance, statistically ranked within the HLTV rankings. That's Na'Vi, they'll be playing later on today. But it's all about competition. We put them in this closed environment to really show you how intense it can be at times and how much excitement can be brought to the table.
And I imagine there's a few football fans in attendance here, both American and of the UK
Sure.
variety. Imagine traditional sports. That's essentially what you are looking at 100% here. This is exactly what's going on. These players are salaried. These players are professional. They travel the world doing just this. Practice is crucial. And in this moment, wins are crucial because these teams are looking to punch that ticket into the grand final. And well, right now, this bye round for Heroic is not going to be getting them there anytime soon. It's been a pretty disasterful round as S-Tag and Blame are taken out of the fight really early on, giving that so much advantage here to North. Currently sitting 8-2 on the third map of this best-of-3 series. Freiberg trying to get something going here, but he's going to get sniffed out by Gade pretty quickly. And a 3v2 now. Mertz trying to find some success with this op. By himself, basically against the world, and not going to happen there. 9-2 for North.
Well, Trace, this is a pivotal moment now, do or die for Heroic. They've had a really difficult start here on Train. The rounds they've been picked up, they've been reset. They're currently down 9-2. And might need a tactical timeout just to discuss their options. I didn't quite catch their money, but I can tell you it's not going to be strong as North look to be a much stronger team here on Train. And indeed, it's another partial setup here. Desert Eagles, P250s, 1 Tech 9 basically means they just don't have the range or firepower to really go toe-to-toe with what North are presenting on their defense right now. They've got a great lead, but remember, we just need around 5 rounds, and Kiabi might burn to a crisp here. He certainly does. So this partial buy at least starts off in a successful manner with Freiberg getting the first kill, and they will try and peel a player away from inside, which actually happened and granted them access towards the inside bomb site here.
Yeah, that worked out pretty well, except for Valde finding that frag. They should be able to get the bomb down, which will help them in the long run, but in terms of this round, it's going to be a hard feat for them just to hold on to what little bit of grasp of the bomb site they have. As you can tell, they're being eaten alive right here as they stand. Do or die, or do and cry as they watch this round slip away, and a double-digit scoreline coming to the board here from North. 10-2 will be the score. And this first half looking very much in the way of North without very much resistance. And again, we did talk a little bit about, maybe a mark that Heroic should set for themselves. Maybe they should be finding a 5th round at the very least in this half to sort of give themselves any sort of hope going into the second half. And they're going to have to start doing that right about now. 15 rounds per half, then the teams do switch sides. So first 16 wins, that is usually the storyline, but you can always get the bonus rounds.
The bonus rounds, also known as an overtime, that's where things get a little bit deadly. And we'll explain that if it gets to it. But here come the flashbangs and Mertz with a decent spawn at the start of the round with that sniper rifle, trying to open things up. It's an aggressive move. You can see North detecting it and using their grenades to push him right back. Those flames will do so much damage if he goes near them. It allows Gade to actually get close and shut off this access point towards the bomb site. Same story inside. And now Heroic, they're going to have to wait for maybe about 20 seconds before they can really make their next move, because those 2 key access points to the bomb sites are now removed. They still have, though, you can see 4 of their smokes. That means they can execute. And execution is like a set piece. If you're thinking about soccer, you can actually go for position players, drop utility in certain spots, and make your opposition uncomfortable before you deploy at a certain time together in a coordinated manner. We'll see.
You mean football, or?
What do you mean?
You said soccer. I've just never heard you say that. It's weird.
I said football.
No, you said soccer.
Did I? Okay, well, there you go.
You've changed a lot since I've met you. Sort of like the change of guard going on here. As you find Heroic sort of stopped in their tracks again, but they're going to have to go for that set piece. Nothing else that they've done has really worked out to this point. They're going to have to start to mix it up. They want a fighting chance in this game. That flash is going to push Valde into the corner, but it might not be enough for him to be pushed back off the site. In fact, he's going to take a more aggressive stance. He's going to peek this upper hall. He's going to get all that information. Mertz, big kill. But now they know where they are. 30 seconds left on the round. They're going to have to make a decision, a very crucial decision here for Heroic, is that they want to traverse and go outside, they want to go inside, and it looks like they're going to commit to the inside bomb site. Bomb in the hands of Vasilian, and S-Tag hitting another beautiful shot there, taking out Cadian, taking him out of the fight. 3 members all coming from the connector. 1 and done there for S-Tag. KRB finding 2, and Vasilian finding KRB. So Blame F with the closeout and a 3rd round on the board for Heroic. Definitely helping their case, but a long, long road ahead of them.
Absolutely. Like we said, we're looking for that 10-5 scoreline. They've got 2 rounds remaining to get there. 11-4, still acceptable. Certainly not ideal, but it allows you to even lose a pistol and work out what's going to be happening. As we get into the next round, we will just wait for the tactical pause to take place. This is a chance for the coaches behind each team just to get involved. They're allowed to talk for 30 seconds amongst themselves while the action takes a bit of a rest and allows their tactical help and assistance to come through from the coach who's observing the game behind them. He doesn't have information on the other team, but he can watch his own teammates and see what mistakes they're making, what ideas he can bring to the table, and what sort of tactical approach they can make going forward. And it's Heroic who know they need these last 2 rounds, and how are they going to steal those away? I don't think money's a massive factor for North at this point. We'll confirm that in a second, as the Octagon starting to get heated up now, coming to the tail end of this best-of-3 series. Heroic started off things in such an emphatic manner as well. So easy for them in that first map. Second map was theirs, and it actually fell apart at the last few hurdles as we go 10-3 now. And North looking for a landslide scoreline, and Heroic just trying to recover whatever they can.
That's absolutely correct, and the Spy is going to have to do something here as this round starts to pave the way towards the end of the half. 10-3. And these smokes are going to keep Heroic pushed back right now. They elected to leave the bomb in a pretty central point on the map. That way they can kind of get out of there if they have to, if they got to do it with a quickness. But this sort of aggressiveness might just punish Heroic right now. If KRB can spot someone through this smoke, and this Molotov might just do it. Nope, he escapes under the cover of smoke. The difference between cover and concealment, Henry, tell me all about it.
Well, it's going to be Freiburg taken down very, very quickly there. He was trying to change things up and suggest the fact that he was actually going to fall back completely. He was waiting for the challenge to come through, but the boost towards that server position actually pays dividends, and it will be North of another opening pick, as we'll see. The inside execution, it's going to be a little bit held up, though, because you can see the incendiary placement stops them getting towards that bomb site once again.
That's right. This explosion outside, you're going to know Valde is there. He's made that comm now. Valde also knows that, hey, the team's grouping. The team has massed up towards this inner site. And I'm going to need some backup here because can't hold this all alone. Cadian's going to go ahead and fall. And Valde did a lot of damage there to S-Tag. Gade's going to find that kill, though, and finish him off ultimately. Real awkward one here for Mertz. And Blame a beautiful shot, though, on Valde. So Mertz not out of the fight till now when Gade takes him out, but definitely a noteworthy shot, but ultimately amounts to absolutely nothing.
Absolutely so. They managed to get toward the inside bomb site there, but this utilization of the grenades is what's really interesting there from North. They actually managed to get the first pick with a little gambit towards Ivy. That funnels the attacking forces towards the inside bomb site. They have no choice at that point. They know they've lost the outside area of the map. They have to go for the inside execution, but as soon as they do, it's well read by North. They drop the incendiaries, and that 7 seconds of flames actually allows the teammates to rotate back in towards the inside bomb site. They're hitting all their shots right now. They're really feeling it, and Cadian, great shot to open things up. That's the rival of Blame F going down, trying to sneak his way through and get a quick kill. And now it's all for play for here. Freiburg will have to fight tooth and nail here as the bomb does go down. It's a 4-on-2. Not looking likely the Heroic can do anything with this, and that confirms it. A very, very quick round there, and also a convincing half from North. 12-3 does not bode well at all for Heroic.
And you can pretty much bet that if Heroic aren't able to pick up this pistol round, it's probably going to be a really, really bad day for these guys. I mean, it's already going to be an uphill, momentous return to at least a tied game here. Of course, the scoreline does allude to the fact that, well, Heroic are just getting stomped on right now. You would think at least in this map pick scenario, they came into train and said, hey, you know what, we might have something here. We might have something to show for ourselves. But in this case, North are in the driver's seat.
Remember, though, we discussed this going into this map. It's the T sides of both of these squads that has been lackluster. CT Force has actually been very good. So, yes, North lived up to expectations. They showed us how strong they could be with the rifles on the CT side, and Cadian had some good moments with the AWP as well. Can they replicate that? Yes. If they get the pistol, they've got a fantastic chance of actually closing this one out. But if it falls apart and they actually get taken down in that first round, we could see it come right back in favor for Heroic. Nothing is a guarantee in this World Trace, and we'll see if Heroic will be able to get back on their feet. It all starts at that first round, though. I'd say is an absolute must. And here we go. 5 sets of armor for North, and maybe just a fast outside attack.
Yeah, nothing is guaranteed, Henry. That's absolutely correct. And it can all kind of pivot around right now in a pistol round. 12-3, and as this pistol round starts, Mertz is going to be the first victim. He's going to be the first to fall, and S-Tag is not far behind him. As North do get out on this inside site with 2 players. How about this bomb? And Ivy and Freiburg with 2 big kills to stop them in their tracks. Really well done there for Freiburg, leaving Gade and KRB kind of out there on their lonesome. With that bomb down, it's going to be a rough one to kind of claw back into this round and grab it, but Gade's going to try to take that fight and not find any success. And I guess in this situation, Freiberg, with that sigh of relief, kind of tells what happened in the rest of the round, Henry.
I guess he did win. Yes, we did jump the gun a little bit there at the end of the round, but Freiberg, I think we wanted to see his reaction. That was the headline there. He did recover the round. He lost a couple of kills towards inside. They book it towards the Ivy area, and Freiberg lights them up with the P2000. If you can start finding the headshots, it is a one-tap kill. And there we go, the much-needed round there. And Heroic, they still know they can win this. North do not need to force buy here, Trace. They don't need to take any risks. They'll get the AKs in the next round. They're going to try and get the bomb down here. I assume smoke down lower round from Cadian, and then maybe flash towards there. And this is the maybe connector smoke trying to be deployed, or just an outside fake. And looks like us go towards upper and try and get whatever they can done. Good damage from Mertz, but only one kill. It might allow a plant here, you know. A
very, very ballsy play to kind of rushed out in that upper site, but of course right now the bomb being planted definitely does help the story for North. And 1 HP for KRB.
He gets a kill.
He did something.
That's fine. They get the bomb down there. He gets an extra $300 as well. They were buying next round anyway. He can actually drop an AWP at this point if he sees necessary. We will find out as we get into the next round here. But here's the full defuse. Only one player going down. That's actually not a huge problem. Heroic wanted to upgrade one of those SMGs regardless, so we'll see whether this is going to be the AWP that's brought out. I would say almost certainly will be as we get into a very key moment of this final map. We'll see if Heroic can continue this streak here on the second half. They win the pistol and the second round, but they allowed that bomb to be planted. As you can see, there is an ult purchase on the T side. I assume that will be in the hands of Cadian. We'll see if he can replicate the form shown in the first half, as he's currently on 14 frags. It's round 18. You can see Mertz did pick up the AWP. This is a big battle. Two Danish snipers going at it and seeing who come out on top. I'd say Mertz is more talented mechanically, but Cadian's certainly more experienced. We'll see who will manage to open things up here as S-Tag with the SMG will be up close towards a pop dog. Oh my goodness, awkward. It actually works.
Yeah, that was a real awkward exchange of affairs right there. We do have a pure exchange, though, in the terms of trading. Because as it stands, a 4v4. That bomb really, really lingering and pushing itself out now towards that inner site. Asilian will be there. He does have the AUG. The new implemented weapon of doom, or at least as Counter-Strike would have you believe, and Asilian will prove just that. Taking down the bomb, Gade and KRB, Freiberg finding Cadian, and now Valde left to do Valde things. Not sure that it's going to happen, though. It's a tall ask. No utility, does have an AK. And he's probably going to get caught in an awkward way. No, he does find a kill on Asilian, so perhaps something, but nothing in the long run.
Well, there we go. It will be a round for the CTs, closing things out. That AUG is so deadly. The reason Trace talks about that weapon is it has been implemented or upgraded recently. I guess you could say the price is reduced on the weapon. It wasn't really used for any iterations of CS in the past, but now since that price reduction, players have realized how fantastic that weapon is, and we're really seeing it become a mainstay in the actual game these days.
And a mainstay sort of like that of GG.Bet. Head over there, check out the odds. If you're joining us today inside of the venue, if you're looking at the Octagon and you're wondering what's going on, that's right, this is esports. There's no dash, there's no capital S, there's none of that nonsense, but there is an eco round on the hands of North right here. Mertz finding that first frag on the KRB, burning him alive actually, and the pistols of North are not going to really be able to construct anything here going in their favor. As Cadian is the only one left alive. He does have the P250, and he's actually going to get eliminated by Mertz.
Well then, at the beginning of the half, Trace, we said Heroic had a lot of work to do, but they've certainly built themselves a platform now to ascend and actually maybe get to the point where they can tie things up. They're on the CT side. We know the terrorist forces for the north side have been a little bit weak. Oh my goodness, Freiberg. I like that.
Love it. Love
That's
to see
what
it.
We've been looking for, a bit of a villain there in the octagon. He's suggesting they might be choking. And,
that was beautiful.
That was perfect. We got it on camera and everything. Really enjoyed that.
I don't think he realizes he was on camera, so that works out.
I think we have a new GIF.
Yeah, that's going to be a GIF for sure. Let's go ahead and get that clipped a couple times over.
GIF it. Do everything you can with it. Download it.
Tweet it. All the good stuff. Yeah. Make sure you tag at GG.Bet official. Of course,
Indeed.
We'll give you that good retweet. I'm sure of it. I can't promise that, but I think so.
We'll do something.
Somebody will do something, and that's exactly what needs to happen here for North as they start to see this one kind of slip away in a slower fashion.
Absolutely. This is why I was saying to you, like, sure, it's a scary scoreline. Just need that pistol, though. We're right back into it. I'm still going to say North have the upper hand here. It's still early days. The auto sniper for Asilian now. For those not familiar, the auto sniper is a viable weapon. It really was in the beginning of CSGO, but we don't really see it on the CT side that often anymore. But Train's certainly a viable map, and you've got those smokes up against you. You can spam through the smoke. It doesn't do as much damage with the orb, but it certainly hurts. It's a high-risk weapon, but let's see if he can pull it off. I'm interested to see what he's going to bring to the table with that. Gade taking a little bit of damage there through the flames, and it's going to be Freiburg, who's played a great game so far. Having some fun now inside that octagon. We'll see if he can continue to hold them off towards Ivy. And it looks like the bomb's heading towards Pop Dog, so an outside split on the cards here.
Yeah, S-Tech trying to work something there with that ladder, maybe get just an off-the-cuff kill, and it doesn't necessarily happen. In fact, he's going to linger around too long and get taken out by Gade, which is not going to help the war effort for Heroic. Blame going to reposition himself underneath that ladder right now. Try to stop any sort of, I guess, go-backs there for North to try to go back to that outside side. Even though they do have 5 alive, this is still very possible for Heroic to come out on top. You see them clearing that mid area. It's going to give them just a little bit of ease, a little bit of a peace of mind. It does look like North are just trying to figure out where they want to go with this. I mean, they do have the time dwindling down. They do need to start to kind of collect themselves and make a decision here as to what they want to do. But right now, it seems a little confusion as to exactly where they want to go. Maybe it's going to be a pure outside hit, and if they do it right now, it's going to be a very, very beautiful time to do so. Very interesting timing indeed as they do push out. No resistance thus far. There's absolutely no one out there, and Valde's going to be coming in late towards Ivy, and the timing is just not for Mertz. 10 seconds left on the clock, and he almost walks right into it, and he does actually.
Well, this is another example of a gamble stack. We talked about Heroic taking those sort of plays. If you lose the first pick, you can triangulate all your players in towards that inside bomb side there and maybe hold up and see if they come towards inside, you got to challenge you. You got to use that advantage you've tried to give yourself there. If they go towards outside like they did, you're almost going to give the round up for free. You got to try and save your weapons and just take it on the chin, and North will be very happy to pick that one up essentially for free there after getting the first pick and finding an empty bomb side there as they fully commit. And Asilian will be saving that auto sniper. I'm not yet convinced by it, but I'm still open-minded to say the least as Freiburg and Blame FLC. AK-47's brought into round number 21 there. 5 players surviving on the North side. A lot to do here. Freiburg suggested they were choking, but a round against him will certainly be a sobering moment as he realizes now it's 13-7 and so much work has to be done on this CT side.
That's right. Keeping that open mind is something that, well, Heroic's definitely going to have to do, and holding off these advances from North, finding themselves on the T side. Of course, they're trying to get in the bomb sites, and with a 13-7 scoreline, they do pretty much have that cushion. They can take a couple risks, they can lose a couple rounds, and they can still be fine. But a tactical pause is going to come out on the side of Heroic as they try to formulate some sort of game plan to hold off this offensive pressure. North finding that rhythm finally. It only took them 3 maps, but now they finally found the groove that they want to try to glide in. And now they have the game in their hands to sort of close off and finish off. It's just going to take some readjusting there from Heroic to try to stop that from happening.
Well, the tactical timeout comes to an end here. You can see the odds heavily stacked in North's favor there. The bottom of your screen provided by GG.Bet. Still, I would say Heroic can pull this one back. I'm still believing at this point. The fact they're on the CT side, it really does bode well for them. They can just pick up a couple of rounds and just get to double digits first. There's still a strong chance they can bring it back, but we will see. North have proven themselves to be strong today as KD is looking for that first pick, looking a lot more assertive at this point as he gets down the lower ramp. This is a great spot for an Orbitor to be in. He can cover his teammates now. They can go for a full inside assault. Remember, it's the auto sniper, not the AWP at this point, and that's the risk you take. You cannot find quick kills of it. You need to be in strong positions, and Gade is just lighting them up at the back of the bomb side there. We're going to see 3 kills come through, and that's going to be round on the board for North. No problem whatsoever as Mertz scrambles away with the AWP. 2 players to survive here, but that's 14 for North, 7 for Heroic, and money is starting to dwindle now.
Yeah, and if you're North in this situation, you have that bomb plan, and you basically, there's absolutely no question that you're going to win this round. I would say, why not try to push up and punish them right now? Take these weapons away. Maybe don't even pick up the auto sniper. You don't want to see that come back out. God forbid it found any use in that round, because it would have been an absolute terror to have been caught on the other end of that. The receiving end of that auto sniper is not forgiving. In this situation, neither is North. 14-7 is the score, and this one's certainly looking a little lopsided as we continue to look to close out Train, or at least North does.
Well, North almost to the grand final now. It's been a long old game, this one, over 3 hours of gameplay, all the maps, and we've gone the full distance pretty much each and every time. We'll see what happens in these dying few moments now as North will try and finish things off cleanly. They've got one more obstacle to overcome. That'll be round number 22. If they can win this, that'll give them 15 on the board and completely break the back of Heroic finances. And what's the play here? Freiburg knows they need to step up. They need an opening pick. Will he be flashed in towards the Ivy position? He's got Mertz to back him up with the orb here. Oh my goodness, jumping across. Freiburg trying to make up for it. This is absolute pandemonium towards the Ivy position, and Mertz is holding strong. 2 shots connect with the AWP, secures himself with the smoke, and now he needs to get the hell out of dodge at this point, as he will fall back and maintain the advantage there. 4 versus 2 now.
Mertz finding 3 humongous kills in that round, keeping the dreams of Heroic alive, and that's exactly what they needed. Acadian and AZ now, the only 2 players alive for North. And it looks like they're going to try to get some leeway out in this upper side. Again, the auto sniper coming out on a Cillian. Maybe he'll be a little bit more successful this time around, but he definitely finds himself in the barbecue pit and almost getting eaten alive there regardless. I mean, Heroic does win the round, but man, they needed that round big time, Henry.
Well, there it is. That's absolutely true, and it's Mertz to deliver the goods there. I really wasn't feeling at the start. Freiburg looked like he's got caught out of position. That's what we call a run boost. When he flew by, flung in the air like a catapult, you can actually exploit a mechanic in the game that allows you to get a lot more speed than usual and try and take the attention away from the sniper, but Mertz wasn't distracted whatsoever. He was ready to hit every single shot there. 3 coming through, and he funnels them towards inside where Cillian can close things out, and now the tactical pause comes through. North, definitely a team that have been known to give away massive leads in the past and crumble almost, and Freiburg's trying to instill that fear of God towards them. Every round they win, they get closer and closer to tying things up, and on the CT side, it's certainly possible here as the odds start to close up a little bit closer. Now we'll see whether it's going to be Heroic who can break the bank here. I think we've got one more buy available for North at this point. We will see as I see them go for their buy menus. I can see some rifles there as well, so there we go.
And not only is it Mertz putting up big numbers in that round, finding those 3 frags, and albeit really, really crucial frags into winning that round, we're now talking about something that could change the mentality, change this momentum of this matchup, period. I mean, this is something that you would want from your teammate to come out here and really put down a hurting and say, you know what, I'm putting my foot down. I'm tired of losing rounds consecutively. This is where things need to start changing. I'm going to put you guys on my back this round, and we should turn it around right now.
This is it. It's an inspirational speech, Trace. Let's see if it works out for them, as it's going to be the opening kill for AZ. That's towards that pop dog position. Blame F, who's had a quiet train performance here. Remember, he's new to the team, probably still finding his role and where he wants to play on this particular map. He will go down quickly, and that's why S-Tag, with his secondary orb, is trying to answer back here. Needs to be quick, but Kiabi, ready and waiting, dismantles his push there. And now, the 5 versus 3 with plenty of time on the clock. If you're smart now, if you're North, you don't want to overcommit. You want to wait for reactions. You want to see if Heroic are going to make a little gambit play and try and push towards a choke point and get a kill back in return. You want to run that clock down, bait out their grenades, and then finally get round number 15 on the board. You just got to be calm and methodical at this point.
Tons of utility for North, even if they waited and waited and waited. By the time it comes to hitting down to one of these bomb sites, they'll have plenty of utility to do that, and using these tools to get out there without any sort of resistance. They can really start to isolate choke points and start to isolate parts of these bomb sites off, so they can just walk out with ease with a little more peace of mind, knowing that, well, he can't see me, he can't rush me, he can't see me, or stop me, I guess.
Yeah.
Or he can't see me twice. Sure. Nonetheless, here it comes. AZ coming in with a little bit of aggression towards this inside site. Hey guys, it's all clear. But not because Freiburg's here, because I said so. 3v4 now, 3v3 as Mertz is also going to get activated in this round. It does look like they're going to try to go to this inside site. That comm was absolutely made, and now this bomb needs to come out. Timer is ticking, and if they stop the bomb plant now, it's a little late for that, but should they have stopped the bomb plant, that would have been pretty much all she wrote in that round.
Yeah, I think it is anyway, because at this point you can see the Molotovs just holding off these snipers. Nothing can be done. Unless Mertz goes absolutely wild here, there would have to be a throw from North at this point for this round to work out for him. Gade watching the position, that's a guaranteed kill. He'll take him down. Cillian, not the ideal weapon, I'm afraid, for a 3 versus 1 situation. Their money isn't great. He's going to have to save that sniper rifle, but North have found themselves grand final points. Been a long series, this one, but it's 16 to win, and now they've got themselves right at the final hurdle, and they've taken down the 5th player as well. Money will be low. North know this should be in the bag. It would be an absolute meltdown at this point to give anything away at this point. It should be them going to the grand final.
That's right, a meltdown, and we are indeed in London. However, this meltdown is heroic. In this moment, that tactical pause is coming in, and this is pretty much their last chance to say, all right, guys, we need to come together in this moment because this is not going to work. Buying an auto sniper, I don't think has been very fruitful for these guys at all.
I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be a new trend going forward. It probably works in practice sometimes. They've had some great games with it. He's had some strong performances. But when it doesn't work out, and the fact it's more expensive than the AWP, and it's not as dynamic, it can't be as useful in most situations. You're like, well, yeah, I get what you're trying to do, but you've had it for 3 rounds in a row now. It hasn't really done much at all. It has no impact, essentially, as we get into what could be the final round here. This is an absolute nightmare scenario. You have to win every single round at this point. The odds displayed at the bottom of your screen say it all, provided by GG.Bet. They're going to have to bring out SMGs, a couple of rifles here. Yep. Bare bones utility as North try to cruise their way towards that grand final.
Scrounging as much as they can, using all of the money that they have. This is exactly what Heroic have put themselves into, situationally speaking. And for a 15-8 scoreline, here we go. This could be exactly where North ties this one off and ends this series and puts themselves in the grand final. Mertz caught out in a real awkward position on top of that ladder. Can't really maneuver. Mechanically speaking, he is stopped, and so is all of Heroic. It's now down to Asilian with the M4. No kit, 1 flash, and basically done and dusted, provided he doesn't do something extraordinary here on the tail end of what will be North's map and series. Trying to come from this connector area. He does spot a very low player in Gade over there, but he cannot seem to find any kills that Cadian will find, and that is a pretty anticlimactic ending to the game. And yes, it does go in the way of North.
I was hoping we'd get a little bit close to that. I was feeling the comeback for a second. And yes, we know this is a new team. You know, Heroic are still working on things. And Train, I'm not sure was the best pick for them. North are very established on that. They look confident. And that's a glimmer of North we haven't seen for a while. They actually looked like they were making plays. They weren't just sitting back and waiting to be dumped on. It looked like they were actually doing a very good job of actually being assertive. And the calls were much better as well. Enjoyed that. And that's them in the grand final as well, Trace. That's actually a big deal for these guys after having a really disappointing month now. They've got to a grand final, an event with some decent teams at it as well, and they could face off against some of the world's best in the form of Na'Vi and maybe prove themselves and get a nice chunk of change as well.
I mean, we're talking about a team that obviously has seen their blunders, but also looking to reshape and re-identify themselves as a team. They have a new coach now. They need to sort of kind of bring it all in on this, and sort of this bounce back is exactly what the GG.Bet Ice Challenge could be for these guys.
Well, there it is. Just to note, Heroic are not out of the tournament. They will play the winner of our next game tomorrow, just before the grand final, decide who will be joining North there. So that's going to be another chance for them to do it, but that's going to be North, though. They're looking better today. I think that's the best I've seen them look for a few weeks now, as we just get, love you, Matthew, set up there. He's got Cadian down on the show floor. Do you think you're ready for us, Matthew?
Right behind us.
There we
still
go.
Good to see you guys. I'm here with Cadian. We got to be pretty quick. You guys obviously now advanced straight through to the grand final. Yesterday, a little bit shaky. This morning as well, you start Mirage. That was your map choice and got absolutely smoked in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we were kind of still asleep, and also there has to be said that Heroic was playing a good game. We were playing a little bit too scared, a little bit too hesitant. We had a lot of opportunities, but we managed to not grab them. So we had a little bit of a wake-up call after the first map, and it was great to see that we were able to bounce back in that whatever. Good.
I get what you said. You got yourself in a tough role too, because you're opping, you're in-game leading, you're new to this lineup. When they're in situations like that, when you are playing from behind, there's obviously pressure on this organization to succeed. How much do you actually take that personally and have to like really rally the troops, if you will?
I mean, I think it's no surprise that I'm extremely disappointed with my own performance here in North so far. It simply hasn't been good enough on an individual level for me, and not on a leadership level either. I think people expected more coming from such a good storyline with Rogue and so on, so I definitely need to step up my shit. There's no secret there, so I really hope that I can get my shit together and hopefully just work even harder and make my teammates even better, because I need to.
Well, it's definitely been an interesting transition for you, from player to caster with us at times, back to in-game leading. You do advance to the grand final, which skips a morning game tomorrow, but I have to let you go because your day is actually not done. You guys are going straight back to the hotel to play in the Sydney qualifier, if I'm not mistaken. How difficult is that to reset, travel back to the hotel, and immediately get back online?
We have 2 more best of 3s this day, and we've been up since 7 a.m., so it's definitely going to be a long and tough day. It helps a little bit when you do it with a win here at the event. You'll have a little more energy. I think we're at a point where we're going to be tired, but we need to be professional and do our very best. And yeah, I hope we can take 2 more wins today.
Yeah, that is a long day. Good start to it, though, with the win here. So with that, North through to the GG.Bet Ice Challenge final tomorrow. We've got Navi versus AVANGAR coming up. That's the lower bracket. So an elimination match. Our favorites going against a team that is more than capable of being an upset. We're going to take a short break. Congratulations to North. Good luck in the other 2 matches today, and we'll be back in a minute.